blokboyradio.
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 blokboyradio. blokboyradio.
All right. Hey, welcome back to Block Boy Radio. Hey, your boy Hectic, your boy Dodger.
Let's go.
Hey, first of all, before we get this started, I want to say thank you to everybody that's following us, showing support. I know this is just our third episode, but I just want to show love and thank you.
Yeah, man. Much love. It's dope. You know, we just hit 300 subs. That's fucking dope, man. Much love to everybody showing us love, and this shit's gonna continue to build. So,
Yes, sir. So this won't be interesting because you're interviewing me, and I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
it's gonna be real good. I know you got a dope story. So, we'll just kick things off. Where are you from? Where were you born? Tell us a little bit about your.
All right. So I was my family migrated from El Salvador, and my mom came when she was 5 pregnant of me from El Salvador to the U.S.
She was what?
5 months pregnant.
Okay.
And then I ended up, I always like saying made in El Salvador and tested in the U.S.
Hey, that's right.
So I was born in the USC General Hospital, I think it's called, in East LA, or Boyle Heights, whatever.
That's
that
right.
area.
Well, the real ones are born.
Yeah, you know that. So I was born out there. When I was 1, I think my parents lived here. From a few months I was born, we moved to Jersey.
Oh
And,
shit!
Yeah, my parents lived out there for like almost a year.
You from the East Coast, high key?
Nah,
Big ear Pac.
nah. They lived out there for like a year.
Big ear Pac, if you have to choose.
Oh, Pac.
Okay. Trump or Biden?
That's another story.
Okay.
All right. And then then my parents decided to come back to LA, and then my sister was born. Then my brother was born, and then they decided to move to Connecticut for a few. They lived out there for like a month. Then they went back to Jersey for a few, like 6-7 months. Then we came back to LA again. So they were like back and forth my first like 3 years.
Wow. So y'all were traveling.
They were traveling.
Connecticut. You said the first one was Jersey.
Yeah,
That's way up there, right? Right next to New York.
Yeah,
Who did you guys know in Jersey?
just a lot of Salvadorians were going out there at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so that's why we got a big following now in El Salvador. I mean, in the East Coast, like Virginia, Jersey, New York.
A lot of Salvadorians over there.
Yeah, and
That's cool.
bigger than people think.
Yeah, wow.
And then the first thing I remember is living in Vermont in 3rd, around that area.
Damn. Right by Dino's Chicken. That's on Vermont and what's the other street? It's Vermont and I forgot the other street.
A little bit more down.
Pico. Vermont and Pico.
Yeah.
Fire. They got the best chicken right there, bro.
Yeah, so I remember going there, and I ended up going to like the school called Commonwealth Elementary, and I went there for kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, and then my parents moved close to Alvarado in 3rd,
That's right.
and I ended up doing 3rd grade out in a school called Union Avenue, and then for 4th grade we moved to Las Feliz area, and I ended up going to a school called Las Feliz Elementary, and I graduated elementary school there.
Dope.
And then went to junior high, which was from 7th to 9th grade back then. Not middle school anymore. And so that was out there. I lived off Virgil and where Sunset and Hollywood meet.
Okay.
All those.
So what high school did you go to?
So in 9th grade, I ended up getting in a lot of trouble. And
What were you doing?
tagging.
That's right.
Yeah. So my mom was just like, no, we gotta dip. So she ended up moving here to the valley.
Okay.
To North Hollywood.
So you got here at 10th grade or 9th grade?
Middle 9th grade.
Okay.
And then 9th grade, I kind of just started chilling. And then
What high school did you go to?
and then I ended up going to North Hollywood, graduated from North Hollywood.
And you moved to North Hollywood?
Yes, my mom moved to North Hollywood.
Okay.
She lived there from right before the Northridge earthquake. So like December of 93 to, I don't know, somewhere 2006 6 or something
All
like
right.
that. And then so I graduated from NOHO, and then joined the service. Did
Yeah,
that
the service. What do you mean by that? Like
military. Joined the Marine Corps.
Marine Corps.
Yeah.
How was your childhood growing up? Because you were like bouncing around like different states. Then you were stable and you were in the around like the LA area. And
Yeah.
then like how was your childhood growing up? Who you grew up with? Like
So
your brother, sister?
So it was my brother and 2 sisters. My parents were together till I was in 7th grade. That summer before 7th grade, they ended up getting separated and divorced.
Okay.
And then we stayed living with my mom. At that time, it was enough. We were old enough where the courts asked us who we want to live with, and we said we want to stay with my mom. Obviously, because my mom was more lenient on us, and
Nice.
and my dad was a little bit more strict. So
Okay.
we were able to do what we did, you know. But that means that both of my parents had to work, and we were out and about in the streets, and that's how I got into. Well, I got into tagging because I had a boy named Lewis. You know, hopefully he's watching. He
Like
told
Louis, you fuck shit up.
he told me that I remember he was like, "Hey, you want to start a tagging crew? You want to be a part of the tagging crew?" And I was like, "What is that?" And he was like, "Look, you see these 3 letters? You just start writing it everywhere."
That's right.
And then I was like, "All right." And he like, "And when we get down, you got to get down too, you know?" So we're like, "All right." So we did that, and we're like 5th or 6th grade. I think 6th grade.
Damn, you guys were getting it, huh?
I mean,
Fucking
that was common, you know. A lot of where he was living, a lot of people, our friends in elementary, they had older brothers, and they were already like into gang banging and all that. So then I just went on with it, and then I continued tagging till they got me in trouble and kicked out of school. And
You got arrested by the cops or just?
just fighting, people taking sucker punches at me, and then it was just too much. You know, the school said, "Nah, you're causing too much trouble," and they homeschooled me till we moved to the valley.
Okay.
And then and out here in the valley, I didn't
You
know
must have
anything.
been bad then, because you were in LA, and LA was like known to be turned up
Yeah.
at the time, and then to be homeschooled and kicked out of school, like fuck, you were really wilding out, huh?
I don't know about wilding out, but I was like, I was just going with the flow. So the homies were like, let's ditch school. We want to smoke weed. Let's smoke weed. We want to go fight. Let's go fight. I was more like
I'm gonna
following.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's get into
let me
trouble.
let
A
me
lot
prove
of-
myself.
Yeah.
And then, but coming to the valley, everything calmed down a little bit. So I was just more like, I ended up having a girlfriend. I just chilled and lay low. And then when I was in my senior year, I started thinking like, what the fuck am I gonna do when I get out of high school? You know, I know I don't want to go to college. I didn't have good grades. So I like, but I don't want to work at McDonald's either. So then I was just like, I remember one of my cousins was in the Navy, so I started thinking about the Navy. And then a recruiter called me one day, and he's like, "Hey, you ever thought about joining the military?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about the Navy." And then he was like, "Well, what about the Marines?" I was like, "What's the Marines?" You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? You don't know? You haven't heard it? I'll go scoop you up right now, right?" And then he scooped me up. He made me take like this little practice test, and I think I didn't do good because then he was like, "All right, man, like we'll see what happens later on, this and that. They're gonna have a test at school." And while I was in the Marine Corps, I did recruiting too. So I know when I look back, I'm like, wait a minute, and that I didn't do good. This guy was just like,
He didn't break it down
wait.
to you. He was
Yeah,
like,
he's like, let's just wait a little bit.
Let's give you some time to bounce back.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell you. He didn't tell you.
Nah,
you
he didn't
pass.
say he didn't say I was a fuck up. But he was nice. And then I remember they did it at school. I took they call it the ASVAB. Took it, and I think the results came out like 2 weeks later because all of a sudden he called me like, "Hey, you ready? You passed, bro. Like, let's
Damn.
go." And I was like, "Let's go."
You're ready.
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's go." And ended up joining and did
What motivated you like to go to the Marines though? Out of like,
Oh, so
you
he told me, hey, the Marine Corps is the hardest branch there is. And I was like, fuck it. If I'm going to do something, I might as well do the hardest thing there is. So
he was a Marine recruiter or just a service recruiter?
no, Marine recruiter.
Oh, okay. So he was like,
yeah,
you're
he told me,
part-
he
yeah.
told me like, oh, you know, and at the time I still was like that. you know, when you're tagging, you still want to be all hard and shit. So I like, fuck it. If I'm gonna do something, I want to be all hard.
The
about
hardest
it.
one.
Yeah,
Damn.
like fuck it, all or nothing.
That's
you know?
sick. And how was your experience being with the Marines? How long were you with the Marines, and how was your experience?
So I was in Marines for 4 years the first time.
Like in combat or what?
No, just I did infantry my first 4 years.
So what is that?
Infantry? Just like the guys in the front line fighting.
Okay,
you
so
know,
you're-
if there's war, so you're always training for war. We had this operation called Operation Desert Storm. No, not Desert Storm. Desert Fox. So this was in December of '98 when they thought Iraq was gonna invade Kuwait again. So they had to show force. We were the ones out there showing the force.
So you're in combat?
It could be considered a combat tour.
Yeah.
We're in the combat zone.
Okay,
but it wasn't combat. Like
Okay.
we're in a combat zone, but we're not in combat. And then everything calmed down, and then I did my 4 years peacetime. That's what they call it when there's no war going on, peacetime. Got out in August of 2001.
What's the craziest shit you saw?
Well, so that was August 2001, right? A month later, 9/11 happened, and I was kind of getting in a little bit of trouble again. So I was like, and then I was like,
Trouble where? In the Marines? Or?
No, I was already out.
Okay.
You know, I would just start. You know, when you leave, you come back, you hang out with your old friends, and they're into doing their shit, and you get caught up, right? And so I was just like, all right, what am I? I'm not doing much. 9/11 happened. Let me go back in. Fuck it, I want to go to war. We already knew that we were gonna go to war, so I was like, fuck it, let me go. And I had to wait a little while because so many people were trying to come back in, so I had to wait like 8 months. Ended up coming.
People were trying to go back into the Marines?
In the military.
To go to war?
Yeah, after 9/11, a lot of people want to serve.
Oh, shit. I thought it would be the opposite. Like, I'm good. I'm not trying to go to war.
Maybe here, but if you go to the rest of the United States, it's not like that,
Okay.
you know? A lot of people are very prideful.
Dope.
And then I was like, fuck it, I want to go. So I signed up. They called me like 8 months later, like, hey, you've been approved. Let's go. And then the only thing I had to do was change my job to a new job called Scout Observer. Basically,
What did you do?
so Scout Observers is basically we support infantry, and we're just gotta be ready to call artillery and air support. So when infantry guys need it, we do that. We support them, make sure they don't get fucked up. So we provide them with make sure the battlefield is as clean as possible for them.
So you're doing like a lot of radio stuff, or like
Yeah, radio and we call it call for fire.
okay, but you're not technically fighting,
Nah,
like shooting and all that. You're like
it-
providing. You're part of the operation.
we're provided, but we always gotta be ready for combat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the craziest shit you saw when you were in the Marines?
Just shooting artillery.
Shooting what, like people, or just shooting? Just shooting like
People shooting people.
you see people get killed.
I've seen dead people. You know, the stuff I don't like to talk a lot about, but you see some things. You know, not crazy as other people. Other people I've seen a lot more. Mine were more like a lot more calmer than other people. We just got hit with what we call artillery. And some shooting going around us, and that's about it.
What's one of your best like experiences in the Marines? Like one of the best takeaways.
The best thing I'll say, my takeaways is for the people you meet, right? You meet some really good people in there. You go through a lot of bullshit, but what makes it fun is the people you deal with that bullshit with, and that's
right.
You create like a brotherhood, right?
Dope.
So a lot of us tend to call each other brothers and stuff like that, because we go through a lot of shit, just like we go with family, and we support each other. You know,
That's crazy. That's crazy because it sounds like you guys go through a lot of stuff, and no one would understand it unless you've been through it.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like, yeah, I see that in different professions, but especially professions that deal with like a lot of adversity. And you guys definitely are up there.
Yeah. It was good, you know. It's good and bad. Military is good and bad. It's not for everybody. You gotta have a certain personality for it.
What kind of personality, what traits would make a person a good fit for the Marines?
someone that knows how to deal with bullshit. You know, I always said if your mom yelled at you and made you go through hell, then you're good. You know, you'll deal with it. If you don't like people telling you what to do, then it's not for you. You know, you gotta have an open mind. You gotta start from the bottom. Everybody starts from the bottom, and you gotta deal with a lot of bullshit. I say eat a lot of shit. That's the word I use, and work your way up and build your. You gotta prove yourself, and with as time goes on, obviously you move up the ranks and it just naturally comes, right? And then you're in charge of people, and it's just a rotation that goes on. So you just gotta have that open mind that you're gonna deal with a lot of crap. There's a lot of things that when you're trying to sign up, you don't hear about. Like we used to have this thing called field day every Thursday. You had to clean your room really, really clean, corners and everything, move your furniture around. So those are things that you don't hear about, right? They inspect you. So if you don't do good, you're not having a time off. They're making you clean it all over again.
They're teaching you structure, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But some people can't deal with that. Some people don't like that because they're like, you're a grown ass person. So, some people are like, why are you telling me what to do? And I don't blame them, right? But
a lot of people tap out, like when you were going through training, or like they just tap out. Like
there's some people. So when you go to boot camp, that's where you see the people tap out. Some people realize like, fuck this, I'm not gonna have another man fucking yell in my face. Other people realize they can't leave home. They get homesick.
Yeah.
It fucks with their head too. So, well, at least when I went in, they'll talk shit to you. They'll make you feel like shit. Now I think it's a little bit more political. So, it was. I think it builds character. To me, you just gotta be strong, pass the bullshit. It's only boot camp that treat you like that. After boot camp, you got, you still gotta be at the bottom and prove yourself and do all the little duties. You're like the low man at the, like something needs to get clean. Hey, the lowest man, go do it. But with time and moving up the ranks, obviously it changes, and then you're telling people what to do.
That's dope. What you move up to? What was the highest rank?
The highest rank I got into was staff sergeant. And
Staff sergeant?
Yeah.
So you're telling people what to do?
Yeah.
Dope.
Tell other people what to do.
Oh, you're like administration kind of?
Yeah, as the time goes, you move up the ranks, you become more like more administration, I guess you could say. Less of the being in the front, more of like dictating how the training goes and all that.
And how did you, when you were going to the Marines, how did your friends and family feel about that? Like
mixed emotions. My mom was in for it, but I told her, look, because I was 17 at the time.
Why wasn't she for it?
Maybe because the way things are in El Salvador, negative. They think war, but even though we weren't in war, my dad was more supportive, and at the time I was 17, so I needed both parents' signature.
Oh yeah, you need both parents' signature.
Yeah, so I just told my mom, look, you do it now or or when I turn 18, I'm gonna do it. You just delay my process,
That's
and then
real.
she was just like, all right, let's do it.
That's dope.
And then she was the biggest supporter,
Oh,
wearing
that's
shirts
right.
and all that.
She was proud of her son. You made her proud. You flipped the script, huh?
Yeah.
That's real cool.
So it was like that. I had friends. Some friends were like, damn, you're going to be
I gotta just throw it in real quick. We're in the hood because if you're paying attention, the ice cream man's cruising around. You know what I mean? We're really in the hood, though. Undisclosed location, though.
Right. Friends were supportive,
Yeah.
They were just wondering if I was going to do it because at the time, I'm fat now, but at the time I weighed like 110.
Damn.
So I was really skinny. And, when you hear the Marine Corps, people are like, damn, that shit's hard.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were wondering. I had a girlfriend at the time. She wasn't supportive. But, I mean, high school, sweethearts, that shit don't last. And then other people were cool with it, family. I mean, at the end, I'm the one doing it. So other people just didn't care. And they were just like, all right, good luck. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And yeah, like you said, it builds character. I mean, like, yeah, dealing with adversity and challenges and all that's going to help you grow, I'm sure. Because, I mean, you hear stories about the Marines, you hear, like, obviously they got great benefits. You hear those type of things, but you also hear, like, PTSD, suicide, and, a lot of things that come with seeing trauma, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are very resilient, and salute to you and all your Marines brothers and everybody in the service that are, you know, holding down the fort and protecting the country, you know.
Yeah. And they're still doing it, and there's still those problems, PTSD, like you said, PTSD and suicide. It doesn't stop, you know. We got to make sure that we got this thing called 22 a day, right? Where the numbers round out to 22 veterans a day or military people commit suicide a day. So, you know, just get the help that you need. You know, don't be shy. Talk about it. That's
right.
one of the biggest problems that we have is people don't like talking about it. And when you hold that in, it just seats you up, and you know, you got voices talking to you, and sadly we lose, you know, 22 a day to suicide. So hopefully we could switch those numbers around.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, mental health. The cool thing is that more people are talking about it, and they're bringing more awareness to mental health and
Yeah.
depression, PTSD, and you know, we're challenging that old, like, oh, I'm a man, I can't, I'm a machista, or I can't really talk about my feelings. But
Yeah.
nah, we need to talk about that shit, because if not, that shit's gonna eat you up inside, like you said.
Yeah, man.
important.
I was holding a lot of things, and I used to walk around a little pissed off for a while, and then I got the help I needed, and I mean, it just helps to talk. You know, if I don't have that, maybe I'll be in a different stage. So, you know, it's an everyday thing you got to deal with, but we're there. You know, we're making it happen.
That's right. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's getting right there deep.
Yeah.
So now, when you came back, what did you like? What happened? What was your story when you came back? What were you doing?
So, in the Marines, there's another story behind that did end well with the Marine Corps. That's another story. You know, we could go for a long time. So when I got out, I didn't have a lot of the benefits I was supposed to have because I got into some trouble, and then for like a year and a half, I was having it rough. No unemployment, no benefits. So I was just doing like little jobs here and there, wherever I could make money, whatever I could hustle. That's what I did for a while, and luckily I have my sister that let me stay with her, or else I'd be homeless.
Shouts out to the sister. Which one?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Shouts out to Jennifer. Jen.
Yeah, Jen. And then so she helped me a lot, and then I went through some things, and then when I finished doing those things, my life turned around, and that's when I met my current wife. And
What helped your life turn around? Like, did it just happen, or did you were like,
just I stopped trying to be a victim, and I said, like, fuck that. I'm not gonna blame nobody. I got control of my life, and I just need to find a way to push forward and stop blaming everybody. That's when I was starting to get the help I needed and talk to myself, and I started telling myself, like, quit being a little bitch and just act and stop talking. So stop blaming. And I snapped out of it, and I just started getting hungry. And then
is that when you went back to school or not?
no, that didn't go back to school. So I started working. I started doing sales in the consumer electronics, and things started going good there. And then that's what I currently do right now. And then like 6 years ago, I was talking to one of my wife's cousin actually. He was in the service too in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And shout out Richard.
Richard, what up?
And then he told me about this program that helps me pay for school, right?
Which program?
It's called
Not the VA, right?
no, it's through the VA.
Oh, okay. It's a program through the VA.
Through the VA. Shit.
Okay, it's all good.
I'm using it. Fuck. When I remember, I'll bring it back up. And then so I applied. Vocational rehab.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
And then so when I applied, I had to wait a few months. I was like, fuck it. If I could get free school, why not? You know, set the example. Because my kids were getting older. I needed to set the example. Tell them. I wanted to see like change a career move too, like something that as you get older, you start thinking about retirement and things that will help you when you retire, more time off. So I was like, fuck it, let me be a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher
That's
since
right.
high school. I used to do this like program that sends you out to like local elementary schools and help out in high school. So I was like, oh, I always wanted to be a teacher. So now I was like, fuck it, I got this free college. I could be a teacher, career change, something different. So I started going to school.
When?
2016.
Where did you go?
August. I went to Valley College.
That's right.
And
Valley College. Shouts out to the Monarchs.
Yep.
LAVC. What?
and then I went there 2 years. I went full-time school, full-time work, and then I put in my
That's
transfer.
right. Full-time school, full-time work. That's
Yep.
respect.
Yep.
You gotta be focused to do that.
Yes, sir.
So that's,
So after 2 years in Valley College, I was like, I was told that I didn't have to graduate from Valley College to transfer. I just needed certain classes, so I applied to CSUN, Cal State Northridge, and
shouts out to the Monarchs. No,
Yep.
not the Monarchs. Season Monarchs.
Matadors.
No, Matadors. Yeah.
Come on, homie.
We should know better. That's the kind of thought right there. Like, what, fool? You an alumni, homie? Bam.
Right. And then so they accepted me, and I got my degree right there, and got my BA on history from there, and then
Dope.
yep, and then I applied for my credential program to teach secondary, which is middle school and high school, single subject, and that's what I've been doing lately. So hopefully, I'll be wrapping that up soon, and also apply to get my last few classes done to get my master's.
That's fire.
Yes, sir.
Fire. So you went to school in 2016, Valley College, and you've been going nonstop since then? No breaks?
No, so I graduated, got my BA in 2020,
Okay.
and then I had to wait for my background clearance, and that took almost a year to apply for my credentials.
Okay. So a year off.
Yeah, so I took a year off
Nice.
because I had to wait for that. Wait a year off school, but in the process of getting cleared up on a few things.
Yeah.
So, and that's been that, you know.
And I'm glad that all worked out, you know?
Yeah.
We got to advocate for ourselves. That's important, especially when we got like a little background situation. I could relate to that too,
Yeah.
because I had my own stuff going on too, and we can't take no for an answer, and that's real important. And they always, whenever you get denied for anything, it's really important that people like they challenge those decisions, and there's usually always like an opportunity to do that. Like if you get denied for anything, just make sure you guys are fucking contesting their decisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, contest. Luckily for me, they just asked me a few questions, and just because of the pandemic, it took longer than usual. But they gave me the chance to do it, and hopefully here I'll be teaching at a high school nearby soon. So.
Yeah. And when you expect you to finish your credential and begin teaching?
So after this semester, I'll be done with most of my classes, and then after that is what they call student teaching, where you're out there like putting hours for free, and I have to say for free, you know. And then or hopefully if someone likes me, I could skip that and start working, and then you still gotta do a little bit of certain things before they approve you, but let's see what happens. Hopefully I get hired before I have to do those
dope.
3 hours.
That's
Yeah.
dope. Shout out to all the teachers that are educating our students and our children and our teachers play an important role in the community.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes that I didn't know that I've been learning about. A lot of hours, a lot of extra hours that people don't realize. But
I recently read an article from I think I forgot who it was, but they're saying that teachers are getting they're getting hit with more tasks, like check the box type of task, and it's really like overwhelming teachers to the point that it's impacting them and their performance to connect with our students, because they're saying that in the article was saying that the foundation of teaching a student is the foundation.
yeah,
And giving a teacher all these check the box little tasks, that it takes away from the connection with the kids.
it does. There's some political stuff involved, so it's a mixed emotion. I would have to say that yes, there's a lot of extra little things that might be too much, but at the same time, there's a reason behind it, because it ain't like before where a history teacher just focus on history, a math teacher just on math. I think they're involving where we're no matter what subject you're teaching, you're supposed to make sure that these kids learn how to read, write,
Oh.
and make sure that we're paying attention to those little things, not just the English teacher, but all teachers.
Oh, wow.
So that's why there's a little bit of extra check the box stuff. It's kind of sucks, but at the same time, I could see why it's done.
Got it. So it's kind of like y'all are kind of like doing a balance, checks and balances, making sure like
Yep.
the kids are learning other subjects and
Yeah.
have their fundamentals of writing and reading, little
Exactly.
things that they need to do.
Especially right here, like in urban cities, like we got a lot of people that come from different countries that are learning how to read and write in the school,
That's a curveball.
like
right
for
there.
me, my first language was Spanish, and I didn't learn English until I started school. So I was like in ESL till probably my whole high school. Like I, English has always been hard for me. Even words, I try to use simple words. Every now and then I'll get fancy, but overall, English is not my subject, and even not even Spanish. I suck at Spanish too, so I'm like in the middle, and I know a lot of people could relate to that, right?
Yeah, we're pochos. We do like
Yeah.
our Spanglish shit.
Yeah, exactly.
We create our own words.
Exactly. We don't know how to pronunciate too well, and so on and so forth. But fuck it.
We get our message and point across.
Yeah, as long as you're doing
One
like
way or
look,
another.
look, my English sucks, and a lot of times I gotta look in a dictionary to know how to write a word. But I got a bachelor's, so anybody could do it, And trust me, I
That's right.
suck at English. I still don't know where a period goes. I still don't know about verbs and nouns and all that. I just practice. It takes me longer. Sometimes it takes me like just to read an easy paragraph like 2 or 3 times just to understand it. But fuck it. Hey, slowly but surely,
Yep,
I get
nonstop,
there.
nonstop. Hell yeah, even me, like I still struggle with stuff like that. My supervisor will be reading my reports and she'll be like, "Oh, Alberto, let me talk to you about your grammar," and I'll be like, "Man, that's the last thing on my
Right.
Yeah, as long as we're getting the point across, but it's good to learn those like little technicalities
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, but don't let it handicap you. Don't
Yeah,
make you
nah.
feel like it cannot let you do things because look here, I'm close to teaching, so
Yeah, we
hopefully these kids don't be trying to write some fancy ass stuff when I'm around like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, you came a long way, man, and you're definitely paving the way for your family
Yeah.
and for the community. So keep it going, brother. I think that's an inspiration, and more stories like this got to get put out.
Yeah.
What motivated you to get this Block Boy Radio podcast platform kicked off? Like,
You know what? So growing up, I always thought the only way to do things was go to college and get these fancy ass jobs like an attorney or doctor or whatever crap, right? And as time goes on and you start meeting people and you start thinking about and you start meeting your friends and everybody that has different businesses and supporting their family and making money, you start thinking like, well, hey, they didn't teach that in school. They didn't teach you to do point A or point B or whatever career. It was always like push college. And I know when I was in the military, I did recruiting for 3 years, and a lot of these teachers were against military, and they're like, "Oh, these kids better go to college." And I'm like, "Well, college is not for everyone." And then when you start talking to other kids, you're like, "Well, I don't know what I want to go do in college." They don't realize that there's so many careers, like like graphic design, communication, so many other things that people don't know. So I was like, man, I wanna put something out there, bring these folks in, and show them that not everybody has the same path. Everybody's doing different things, but at the same time, being able to support their family, make money, buy that new house, buy that new car. You don't have to have a certain career. You just gotta have any career and do your best out of it and be successful.
so that's what motivated you to get the platform going, just to hear different stories, like
Different stories, so people know, like you grew up the way I grew up. I don't speak good English. My English is there, but I'm trying to make it happen. And you're making it happen. So there's different opportunities for everyone. So it's good to hear.
That's dope, man. That's dope, especially because you represent a lot of different identities. You being a male, and being a Salvadorian, first generation,
Yep.
and then first generation college student, and then first generation here, and then you represent like different identities, and just to be for you to be able to flip the script and get your degrees and
Yeah.
and not only that, but complete the Marines is like, damn dog, you better have heart.
Yeah.
You better have heart to go through that whole process. So that's props to you, bro. Like, you have a powerful story, man. Like, a lot of fools can't do that. I don't even know if I could. A lot of the fools I know would be able to complete the boot camp process, because that's a whole different level of
Yeah.
intensity.
Hey, but like you said though, all it takes is heart, and focus and be determined. That's it, and you'll be able to do it. And
That's right.
That's why I'm like, man, if you guys know people or anybody, let us know so we could bring them on and share their stories, because everybody's different and might help that one person that's going through the same thing. So
Yeah.
hopefully we could inspire more people.
Yeah, that's true, because that's very powerful too. Like what you just said, like it's really important for us to be seeing people that share common identities like us, that are completing goals or accomplishments that sometimes we feel we can't accomplish. So I know that was powerful when one of my mentors, he taught me this. They call it self-efficacy, and it's like a big term, but self-efficacy, one of the cool things is in self-efficacy is like, oh, if you can do it, so can I. And especially it's powerful when you see people of your same skin color, your same community doing things that you probably thought you couldn't do, but you start feeling like, nah, like, shit, I could do it. If this fool could do it, fucking this fool, hey, I mean, hell yeah. And that's the whole point. Like, we're trying to motivate people, inspire people to share different stories and to be able to like follow through with any of their dreams or aspirations.
Yeah,
That's powerful.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what a lot of things helped me. Like, I used to think like, dude, if this guy could jump out this helicopter, I could do it too. I'd be like, quit being a little bitch and do it.
Let's go.
So this guy went to college, I could go to college. So hopefully someone could see me and be like, man, Hector could do it. Fuck it, I could do it too.
That's real. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's real. So what about if people want to jump on the platform, right, and they want to share their story, where can they reach us or you, like, aside from Instagram? Because some people might not have Instagram, and they might want to hear us on, because we're streaming on Apple Music and what else?
Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube. So you obviously IG, you could hit us up, or
Blockboy Radio at Blockboy Radio, BLOKBOY Radio, and then you got an email, right?
Yeah, and the email blokboyradio@gmail.com.
Same thing with just the BLOK.
Yep.
That, like, if y'all know anybody and want to hear anybody on the podcast sharing their story, like, let us know and shit. We're gonna be definitely reaching out to some people.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll be bringing in the next episode. We're bringing someone new, so you'll be starting to see different people. So share with us, email us, message us, and we'll reach out and make something happen, and go from there. And just be like, hey, Hectic or Dodgers reaching out. So
yeah,
crazy.
That's dope. Super dope. I wanted to give a big shout out real quick to a few people real quick. You want to give some shout outs? I want to give a shout out to my boy Edgar, A18 Boxing in San Fernando. They're doing a lot of good things in the community, training a lot of people and helping people get right.
Yeah.
Also,
Tommy
my boy,
Tomato.
Yeah, Tommy Tomato. We always got to shout out Tommy Tomato. Make sure
Yes,
you guys
sir.
go hit up SoCal Gardens. The homie Blasto just opened up his clothing store over there in Arleta on Woodman. I stopped by like a month ago. He got the michelada mixes, clothing, hats, all type of gear. Make sure you guys stop by Blasto's store. Shout out to my boy The Wonder, my boy D-Dub. He fucking hooked us up with a badass production for the intro for the Block Boy.
Yep.
For the Block Boy Radio intro.
What about your haircut?
Oh yeah, my boy Barber City, my barber, my boy Oscar, my longtime little homie. That's my boy right there. He's right now on top of the world because the Niners are going to the divisional championship. So he's going to the game on Sunday, and he was excited as fuck, and I'm excited for him. So
Yeah.
my boy Barber City in Mission Hills. Make sure you guys tap in.
Yep. The homie Raider, I always gotta give him out with his music, or putting on concerts. Shout
Yep.
out to him. He's got a show coming up, and I'll put it in the comments so you guys can see when his next show will be.
Shout out to the compadre, Big Raider.
Big Raider. Who else? Damn.
Shout out to the exterminator, Kevin.
Oh, Kevin.
Man, my boy's over here fucking killing rats and all type of crazy shit, keeping the
That's
restaurants and a lot of...
We're bringing him on too. He got a dope ass story, and this dude's doing big things too. So shout out to Kevin.
The whole North Hollywood section. Oh, speaking of North Hollywood, American Cholo, shouts out American Cholo for putting my boy Zapata the Ghost on there. Zapata, much love to you, homie. You always got some gems to drop. So
Yes,
I just checked out their interview with him
Yep.
earlier, and we're gonna definitely get Zapata up on here too, cause he got some.
Yeah,
got some dope
and American
knowledge.
Cholo's doing good things too.
Yeah.
He's been doing good things. So shout out to him. And I know he got some things planned up coming this May for all our people, and you could go to his page and you could hear what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's dope. It's about unity, uniting the people, like Latinos all across the board, and getting together and trying to create like some like a movement. I'm
Yep.
still learning about it. I don't know much about it, but what I did hear, it sounded really dope. So
Yeah.
it's something that we need to support, because we're always talking about unity, but it's real important to take action on when we talk about unity, not just saying unity, but supporting our people. You know what I'm saying? Supporting our people, just like we support these fucking companies that we don't even know, and they're fucking taxing people like Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all these brands. It's cool if you want to support them, that's dope, but make sure you support your own people too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shouts out Boss Apparel, the homegirl Boss Apparel. She's pushing hard with her brand too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
All the local people, all the people making music.
yeah, the homie Receipt, the homie Uno, the homie fucking Gatsby. A lot of the homies that are keeping it pushing with the music. My boy Dreams, Dreams.
Yes, sir.
A18 Hip Hop, that fool's doing this thing too. So much love to all the homies.
And just everybody that's showing love and supporting us and subscribing, and hopefully we keep this going and growing. We're also making hats
Yes,
to
sir.
support
Tap
lanyards.
in, all that. We got all the merch right here popping. So what's up? Who's taking the Super Bowl? Who's taking the division? Who's going to the Super Bowl?
Oh man, I'm a Raider fan, so I don't really care.
I know you guys took the L, but who's gonna take it though?
I'm always been an underdog. I always been since middle school. When I even joined like tagging crews, I always joined the small ones.
That's right.
And so I'm hoping Cincinnati, I would say.
Cincinnati.
And that way the Raiders could say at least we lost to the Super Bowl
Yeah,
champs.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they definitely got some momentum coming in, because they got the receiver with Jamal Chase or something like that.
Yeah.
That dude's
but
pretty fucking.
but also like at the same time you're like, damn, I hope the Rams win, bring a Super Bowl to LA. So as long as it's one of them two, as long as it's one of them two, I'm cool.
Yeah. What do you think about that? About the NFL, I don't know much about it, but I just heard earlier my boy Oscar was telling me that, or my son was telling me actually, that the NFL or someone was trying to lock it down so that the Niner fans were limited from purchasing tickets to the StubHub.
I could see why they're
Oh,
doing
not
that.
the- is it
No,
the StubHub?
to go to SoFi.
SoFi, yeah.
Yeah. I could see why they're doing that.
Who was doing that?
If the Rams are pushing hard.
Oh, they were doing that?
Yeah. So I think the Rams are pushing hard, so there's more Ram fans than Niner fans. And I could see that. I mean, it's a home game, so you expect that. I could see that why, but it's sports. Okay, whoever doesn't matter. You should be able to play no matter what conditions you are, right? So
That's real.
I don't really care. What about you?
No, I think it was just a trip. Like, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know that they were gonna get down like that. But I mean, obviously, it says that the Niners got a fucking lot of fans that are gonna pull through, and it makes sense, because the Niners have always been, from what I know, they've always been from San Francisco, and that's Cali, obviously, northern Cali. But the Rams, they've been around different places, St. Louis and who knows where else. But then they came back recently.
Yeah.
So. It's going to be interesting to see, but it's going to be definitely a dope weekend for
I
football.
I just care about the Super Bowl and watching Dre and Snoop.
That's going to
perform.
be super lit. What song are you hoping that they perform?
Some old school, I'm guessing. The first song I heard was Nothing But a G Thing. So that was my first CD I bought too, The Chronic. So obviously I gotta be like, yeah, play that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I hope that they bring out fucking like not Nate Dogg, obviously he's passed away, but Exhibit.
Oh,
That'd be fucking lit if they bring out Exhibit or King T. They got some dope records with King T. I can't think off the top what's the name of the records, But it'd be fucking dope if they bring out obviously the whole West Coast, mobs. You know, the West Coast cart. You know, like Exhibit, DJ Quick. If they bring out DJ Quick, they're killing it. You know.
Yeah. Damn, I remember DJ Quick when I was stationed in Japan and play that song all the time.
Yeah.
DJ Quick, that was dope.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. We'll see, but it's definitely gonna be dope because it's in our own backyard. You know, it's gonna be legendary.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, appreciate you guys tapping in. You got once again, if you guys have any people that you want us to reach out, remember our email at blokboyradio@gmail.com or IG blokboyradio. And then gears. If you guys want some gear, we got some hats, lanyards, some crew necks.
That's right.
Some shirts.
Yes, sir. We be repping all day. Block Boy certified. Block Boy Radio. We in the motherfucking house.
Yep. So appreciate that. Follow us and thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Block Boy Radio.
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 Block Boy Radio. Block Boy Radio.